Hello everyone. Now we are going to see about engineering as experimentation. On completion of this video, students will be able to explain what are the general responsibilities of engineers to society and also what are the general features of morally responsible engineers. So engineering as experimentation. So an engineer's career, he is frequently involved in a research, experimentation or the testing of new product. Especially during the design phase, one needs to apply various experimental procedure, which is called a experimentation. Okay, in engineering, each and every stage of product or process development, experiments or conducted. There are maybe many uncertainties at each stage, but engineers cannot afford to delay project until all the information is received. Thus, the final outcome of the experiment could be uncertain. Next, engineer experiment versus standard experiment. So many similarities. Okay, first similarities to standard experiment. In this, actually, what are the aspects of engineering that make it appropriate to view engineering project as experiment? There are many aspects of engineering that makes it appropriate to view engineering project as experiments. Three important aspects are there. First, engineering project like the standard experiment are carried out in partial uncertainties. The uncertainties may include uncertainties in the design calculation, exact properties of raw material, then material processing and fabrication, nature of working of final product. Secondly, the final outcomes of engineering project are also generally uncertain like those of other experiment. For example, a nuclear reactor may reveal unexpected problems that endanger the surrounding people. Some products such as high heels, shoes, chappals, cosmetics items may cause some side effect to the users. And who knows, the user of cell phone actually may be exposed to some unidentified harms in future. Then third similarity, similar to standard experiment, engineering experiment also require through knowledge about the product at the pre-production and the post-production stages. So thus engineering, like any other experimentation, require constant monitoring, alertness and vigil on the part of the engineers at every stage of the project. Okay, next one is contrast with standard experiment. Okay, it's obvious that engineer experiments differ from the standard experiment. So, knowing differences between engineering and the other standard experiment is helpful to engineers to realize their special and moral responsibility. First one is experimental control. Experimental control is the most important difference between engineering and the other standard experiments. In standard experiments, experimental control involves selecting members for two different groups randomly. The first group members are given the special experimental treatment, whereas the members of other group are not given that special treatment. Even both the groups are subjected to the same environment. The group that was not given the special treatment is called as the control group. So in engineering experiment, usually there are no control group. Sometimes the control group is usually only when the project is limited to laboratory experimentation. Next one is informed consent. So it is known that there is always a strong human interface in the use of engineering experiment result, and also the beneficiaries are invariably humans. Therefore, Engineering experiments are also viewed at the pot with the medical experiments, as both experiments are performed on humans. When a medicine or an engineering product is to be tested on a person, then the moral and legal rights is to get informed consent from him. So, in other words, we can say the experimenters whose experiments involve human subject have a moral and legal obligation to inform about all the relevant facts about the experiments to the person who participates in experiments. Next, engineers as responsible experimenters. So, what are the general responsibilities of engineers to society? Engineers are primarily considered as technical enablers or facilitators rather than being the sole experimenters. So, engineers' responsibility is shared with management, the public, and others. The other unique responsibilities of engineers include monitoring projects, identifying the risk, providing customers and clients the required information to make a reasonable decision. While exercising engineering duties, the engineers should display the virtue of being morally responsible person. What are the general features of morally responsible engineers? Actually, the conscientious commitment to live by a moral values. That is nothing but the primary duty of morally responsible engineers is to protect the safety of human subject and respect their right of consent. A comprehensive perspective. So, the morally responsible engineers should have a constant awareness of the experimental nature of the project, forecasting of its possible side effect, and decent effort to monitor them. Autonomy. So, the morally responsible engineers are the one who are personally motivated to have a dedicated involvement in all aspects of a project. Accountability. The morally responsible engineers should be accountable for the result of their project. Okay, thank you.